Yeah, started. There's a video.
Video?
Yeah. You want to say something or?
Yeah. Finally, we conquered this war. This is war. This is war. We conquered it at last. To the glory of God, we conquered this war. Yeah.
Take off the outfit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Conquer this war. Yeah. Your test. You want to follow these rules. These rules are going to help a lot. I got my friend here who keep helping me during the lessons. He kept putting me through one or two guidelines I need to follow to drive successfully here in the UK. You want to say hi, bro?
Hi there, guys. I helped him get his license, and yeah, he did really well.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So this is
Finished.
gone now.
Finished.
This is gone now.
Gone. No more.
Gone.
You don't need it no more.
We don't need it anymore. Yeah, finally, it's done. I passed. Yeah, so the joy in me right now is overwhelming, and I must say I give glory to God Almighty, and I want to appreciate my friends, my family members, my driving instructors who took out their time to support me in this mission. This journey has been a long journey, over a year now, trying to pass the driving test to start driving legally in the United Kingdom. It's really a war, a battle. In our local parlance in Nigeria, we say, who no go, no go, no. So if you haven't been here, you might not really understand why you see most persons celebrating passing the driving test here in the UK. Now, you must understand that passing the driving test here in the UK, it takes 2 steps. The first step is that, in fact, 3 steps. The first step is that you have to first of all apply for the provisional driving license from the DVSA, that's the Driving and Vehicle Standard Agency. And once you get your provisional license sent to you, you cannot start driving on your own because it's just a provisional meant for you to use it to practice with an instructor. Now, when you get your professional driving license, you have to now register and pass the theory test. The theory test is all about understanding the driving codes, the traffic signs, and the hazard perception aspect of the test, how to spot developing hazards while you're driving. All right, and the next one is having passed the theory test, you're now sitting for the main one, the real deal, which is the practical test. The practical test is where you have to get an instructor for them to guide you through the process of learning how to drive here in the United Kingdom. If you have been driving in your country, in your local, in your home country, it is not the same pattern of driving here. You must unlearn what you used to know and now start learning how to drive in the United Kingdom. And so it's a long journey. So yeah, I'm so happy today. It has come to an end with the whole processes. It took me about a year, and I've spent about not less than £2,500. Yeah, £2,500 in getting this license at the end of the day. You might be asking how. Now, it cost me about 40 to 50 hours lessons, and each lesson here in the UK costs you about 30 to 40 pounds per hour for the lessons. And so you have to keep paying until you pass the tests. And so different instructors charge differently anyway. Some charge 30, some charge 35, some charge 40 pounds per hour. And so within a week, you might need to pay up to, say, 4 hours, which is about, assuming you're paying 40 pounds per hour, that will be 160 pounds per hour. That will be 160 pounds for about 4 hours 4 hours lessons, and so that might not be enough anyway. So you keep paying for the booking. The booking of the practical test cost about £62 as I speak. So I failed 3 times and passed the 4th time. So you can do the maths. All right. So yeah, that is it. Now the essence of this video is to encourage drivers who are still learner drivers who are still going through the process at the moment. Probably you're still in your theory test level or in your practical test level. Whichever level you are, I have one advice for you. You just keep practicing. There is no secret about it. You have to keep practicing. Practice until you are ready to take the test. You must learn how to kill nerves, to suppress or control your nerves if you must pass the driving test. All right. You must also learn the highway codes, the traffic signs, and all the rules that govern driving here in the United Kingdom as stipulated by the Driving and Vehicle Standard Agency. All right. So I'm going to give you a brief breakdown of how I passed my test, so you might learn from me. So you want to make sure you share this video to other learners as well. Now, how did I pass my test? First of all, I practiced. Now, passing your test, you have to just keep practicing either with your own vehicle or with the instructor's vehicle, right? So in my own experience, I drove with I started with an instructor. So the instructor was taking me on lessons. I had about 2 to 3 instructors here. And along the line, as I get perfected. Now, before I say that, I didn't drive a manual car back in Nigeria, but coming here, I understand that most of the jobs you need to have a manual license. So you must practice with a manual car for you to be able to get the manual driving license. So in the UK here, the manual license is more valid, it's more recognized than the automatic license. And if you pass your tests with the manual driving license, you can comfortably drive. You are allowed by law to drive manual cars and also automatic cars. But if you pass your test with an automatic car, you cannot drive manual cars. You must only drive automatic vehicles right here in the UK. So that is the standard. So I passed my test with a manual car and I'm happy for it. All right. It wasn't an easy experience anyway, coming here in the UK to start driving a manual car, because I wasn't driving a manual car back in my home country, Nigeria. All right. So how did I pass my test? I used instructors. I booked an instructor, so he took me instructors. So they took me on different lessons, about 40 hours or more. And so when I get perfected to an extent, I bought my own car, this car, and I started practicing with my own car and with someone with a full license for 3 years to sit with me to drive my car. All right. So if you want to pass your test fast, you need more lessons, and I'll advise you go get a car. Car is very affordable here in the UK. You can even buy cars within £1,500, £2,000, and you can get a good car that can help you scale through. So I'll advise you go get your own car, and for you to be able to start using that car, because you don't have the British license at the moment, you must get an instructor that has got the full license and has gotten that license for minimum of 3 years for them to be able to sit with you on the passenger seat here while you drive. And while driving with that instructor or anyone that has the full license, you must mount your the learner's badge. All right, you must mount the learner's badge while you drive on the front of the car and at the back of the car. It is mandatory by law. All right, so I got the car and I got a friend who has got license. He's a British. He's got license for 3 years and above. So he sits with me whenever he's chanced. He sits with me while I drive through town and practice and get perfected. So I started getting perfected as I started driving with my car. So I got mastered with the car. One thing about it is that getting mastered with the car you're going to use for the test. All right, so I got mastered driving my own car with someone that has got full license for minimum of 3 years. He sits with me, and I also practice with my in-law, my brothers, my family members who has gotten their license for, they've got the full license for more than 3 years, so they sit with me while I drive and practice. So this is a kudos to them. I appreciate their commitment, their support to me in this journey. And so that is how I got perfected gradually. All right, so yeah, that is one. The number two is that you have to get to practice mock tests. Mock test is very crucial. Why mock tests? So get your instructor or whoever is sitting with you or who is teaching you to arrange mock tests for you. Why do you need mock tests? You need mock tests because during a mock test, it opens up your loopholes, areas you have challenges, areas you need improvement. And so if you had a mock test today, you now know your loopholes, your areas you've got challenges. So in your next mock test, you can now improve on those areas you think you have loopholes or challenges. So you improve on them. So you keep doing mock tests and you keep practicing. You need more lessons. You need more lessons for you to upscale. You need more lessons to improve your skill to be able to pass the test successfully. All right, so yeah, what else? The third thing you need to know about how I passed the test is that I improved in my mirror checks. I improved on my observations. I improved on my signaling. Now, during the test, while you're driving, you must make sure that you understand the principle of MSM, that is mirror signal maneuver. What does that mean? Now, when you're driving, before you signal either left or right, you must check the center mirror. If you're going left, assuming you're going left on the road, you must check your center mirror. Is a must. You must check your center mirror and you must check your left mirror. If it is safe, then you can now maneuver left. You can now enter the left road. That is the MSM. Now, if you're going right, now you must check the center mirror. That's the rear mirror here. Then you must check the right mirror before going right. Okay? So this is very crucial if you must pass your test. Now, another thing you must take cognizance of is, not mounting the curbs. As you're driving during your tests, the examiner will say, pull over. When it is safe, pull over on the left. They want to check how you stop, how you park your car on the road. So what you have to do, if they say once it is safe, pull over on the left. Now, you don't just pull over on the left. You have to check your center mirror, check your left mirror. Once it is safe, you now slow down and signal left and gradually stop on the road beside the curb. Do not mount the curb. If you mount the curb, you have failed your test. So make sure you go close to the curb slowly on your first gear. You go slowly on the left. Then you must have checked your mirror and signal left, right? Now, when you stop carefully, you put on your handbrake and turn off the signaling. All right, and so make sure when you do this, do not park on somebody's entrance. Do not. I repeat, do not park on somebody's entrance. If you park on someone's entrance, you have failed the test. All right, so that is that. Now, haven't parked on the side of the road, the examiner will now say, when it is safe, drive on. Now, what that means is that you don't just drive off that way. You need to make sure that it is safe. So how do you know it is safe? You have to check your center mirror. Because you're on the left-hand side of the road, you have to check your center mirror, and check your right mirror. Check your right mirror, and also check your blind spot. Your blind spot is different from your right mirror. Before you move off, as you're parked on the left-hand side of the road, you must check your center mirror, check your right mirror, check your blind spot. Your blind spot is here. Then you can now signal. Don't signal before checking. You have to check these mirrors, check your blind spots, then you now signal, then you can now move off safely. The examiner will be observing you critically. All right, so now when you move off very smoothly. The examiner will be watching you. Now when you emerge on a new road, there's what we call new road, new mirror. New road, new mirror. All right, what that means is that each time you emerge a new road, make sure you check your mirrors before changing the gear. Take notes. New road, new mirror. When you're driving on a road, assuming you're going left, when you check your mirror, it is safe to go left, you now go left. Now, once you emerge on a new road, you must check your mirror before you change to the second gear or to the first gear or to the third gear, whatever gear you're changing to. All right, these are critical little things that matters. Little things that matters. So take note of these things. And when you're driving on the roads, before you brake, do not brake harshly. Do not brake harshly. If you must brake, before you brake, make sure you check your center mirror to make sure you don't slow oncoming traffic from your back. Take notes. Each time you want to brake, make sure you don't brake too harshly so that you don't affect oncoming traffic behind you. So you have to check your mirror and brake carefully. Okay, now the next thing you want to take cognizance of is speed limits. Speed limit is very crucial. You must understand that if a road is 30 miles per hour, you must not drive 31 or 32. If you do, you have failed, because the examiner will be observing you via his sat nav or via the traffic sign, the speed signs on the road. If you drive above that speed limit, you have failed your test. All right, so you have to be careful. If the road says 30, you must drive 30 or 28 or 29. Do not drive 24 or 23. No, you must go close, either 28 or 29 or 30 miles per hour. So be checking your dashboard to understand the speed you are. Check that very carefully. All right, so the next thing you want to take cognizance of is commenting driving. It helps a lot. Now, what is commenting driving? Commenting driving helps you. It's a way of saying what you are doing as you're driving. All right, so as you're driving, the examiner is seated beside you. You're commenting what you want to do next. All right, so that what that does is that it keeps you at alert. It keeps you focused. It keeps you anticipating what you want to do next, and you keep saying it so the examiner hears it, and he knows that you know what you are doing. All right, so as you're going, assuming you want to go left, you say center mirror, left mirror. Keep saying it. Center mirror, left mirror, signal. Say it so that he or she will be hearing it. So as you're going, center mirror, left mirror, signal. Then you signal and you maneuver and enter that new road. Then as you enter that new road, make sure you check your mirrors before changing your gear. You move off. All right, so these are little things that you don't want to overlook, because these little things matter a lot if you must pass your driving test. So you just have to be careful enough so that you don't go against these checks, these rules that is already set by the DVSA on how to pass the test. Yeah, so another thing I want to emphasize on is that you must learn all the various maneuverings. For instance, there are different types of maneuvers. We have the forward bay park, we have the reverse bay park, we have the parallel parking or parallel park. We also have the emergency stop. We also have the right reverse park. Now, these are various areas you need to practice and get master to them, because during the tests, the examiner would test you on these areas. He might take you to a parking bay and ask you to do the parallel park or the reverse bay park or whatever of these maneuvers. So you need to practice it. Also practice emergency stop, how to do emergency stop. Emergency stop helps you in times of emergency, as the name implies. So once you're driving, if you're going to do the emergency stop, the examiner is going to pre-inform you that get ready, you will be tested on that. So how does that work? As you're driving, once he sees that there are no oncoming traffic behind you and the road is safe, he's going to do this stop. Now once that is done, you have to press the brake and the clutch the same time so that the car comes to a full stop on the road. And haven't done this tests, haven't done this braking, this emergency braking, you must also learn how to check your mirrors. You must check your mirrors, check the left, check the right. Once it is safe, you can now signal either left or right and move off. So you must practice these maneuvers properly, practice them and get used to them. And one more thing I must tell you again, as you're driving, if the examiner takes you to areas that have the stop sign, you must come to a full stop. No, not walking or strolling or moving slowly. You must come to a full stop and check properly, check left, check right. Once it is safe, you can now move on. All right, so one thing I forgot to also mention is that if you're using your personal car for the tests, there are standards your car must meet before you can use your vehicle for the practical test. Number one is that your car, the four tires of your car must meet the 1.6 mm tread depth for that car to be able to be used for the tests. All right, so make sure you change your tires. If they are not okay, you get new tires and make sure they have good tread depth. All right, so you must also make sure your car is clean. There are no dents, there are no food particles or smoke aromas in the car. Make sure your car is clean and decent. All right, and make sure that you've got the MOT. Make sure your MOT is current. Make sure your MOT is still on. If your MOT is expired, that is your roadworthiness of the car is not up to date, you cannot use that car for the tests. So make sure before you use your car for tests, make sure you have your MOT is in check, your MOT is up to date. All right, now the next thing again is that you must make sure your insurance, you must make sure that car is insured for the learner driver, because at this point you're a learner driver. So you must insure your car with the right learner insurance to make sure your car is ready for the test. Okay, and there are many insurance companies. If you don't mind, I can drop some of the links right at the comments. That is for that. The next thing again you want to check is that make sure your car is taxed. You must tax your car for you to use that car for the practical tests. If your car is not taxed, in fact, it's an offense. It's a criminal offense that you're driving a car that is not insured or is not taxed or does not have the current MOT. So make sure these things are intact before you can use your car for the practical tests. And I think there are some approved cars that you can use for the test. There are some cars that cannot be used for the test. So find out all that before using your car for the test. So these are little things you should be aware before going in for the test. And one more thing I want to say is that roundabouts, you need to practice how to maneuver roundabouts. If you check the videos, I've put some videos I did while I was driving with my country's license before it expired. I've put some videos at the description of this video how you can maneuver roundabouts. Roundabouts are crucial areas that the examiner might test you on. All right, so how do you maneuver roundabouts? I don't want the video to be too long, but I'm just going to give you a brief explanation of how to maneuver roundabouts. Now, see roundabouts in the UK as a clock, a wall clock, right? You have the 12 o'clock, you have the 6 o'clock. Now, if you're entering a roundabout, always look out before getting to the roundabout. Always look out for the traffic sign for that roundabout. Now, if you're going left on the roundabout, on entering the roundabout, you must position your car on the left-hand side of the lane. So now, before you enter the roundabout, make sure you give way to oncoming traffic from the right. That's cars already on the roundabout coming towards that way. You must give way to oncoming vehicles or traffic before entering the roundabout. Now, because you're going on the first exit on the left, you must position your car on the left. When it is safe, you can now enter the roundabout and exit on the first exit. All right. Now, if you're going straight on the roundabout, that is 12 o'clock, at the 12 o'clock sign, you're going straight. You must position your car on the left and drive. Make sure oncoming cars, you give way to them until they pass. When it is now safe, you can now enter the roundabout. Move straight, and you don't need to signal. Move straight and exit on the second exit, right? Now, that is if the exit is not after 12, it is on the left hand side of the clock. All right, so that is for that. Now, if you're going right on the roundabout, that is after the 12 o'clock, you must position your car on the right hand side of the lane when entering the roundabout. All right, so what does that mean? You're going right, that's after 12. You must enter the roundabout from the right hand side of the road, and if it is now, you have to give way to oncoming traffic on the right hand side already on the roundabout. Give way to them. Now, when it is safe, you now enter the roundabout. Now when you give way to oncoming traffic on the right, you must signal that you're going right. Remember, when we are going straight, we didn't signal. Now we are going after 12 o'clock. We are going right. You must signal right that you're going right on the roundabout. That's after 12 o'clock. Signal right. Now, when you now enter the roundabout, you're still signaling. Now, once you pass the second exit, which is called the penultimate exit, and you're going on the third exit on the right, once you get to the second or penultimate exit, you must signal left that you're exiting the roundabout on the third exit after the 12 o'clock. So you want to just check those videos right there. I'll put some right there on the link, so you go check them out on how you can maneuver roundabouts. All right, so these are key things you want to pay attention. If you've got any comments or questions, leave them at the comments. I'll be there to interact with you. All right, so having said that, please share this video to your friends and family members for them to get some ideas from this. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, in this channel I give out updates, all general updates that can help add value to you in different ways. So you want to subscribe to this channel, please give this video a thumbs up so the algorithm can recommend the video to others. And you have questions or comments, leave them right at the comment section. I'll be there to respond to them. All right, having said that, thank you. I appreciate your commitment. Our returning subscribers, thank you for returning. Thank you for your commitment, your loyalty. We appreciate them so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.